Everyone, or rather, good morning. Good morning here from Nigeria at this point in time. I hope you all can hear me loud and clear. It is indeed a very late night conversation, a very light, very late night conversation regarding the appointment, nomination of ambassador, Nigerian ambassadors to various countries. Okay, so the ambassadors that we have, I would rather say that what we have is not ambassadorial lists. Let me take a rewind again. I welcome you all to these early morning national lens on Ginger Media TV. Here, I'm going to be breaking down the stories shaping Nigeria's political future. As usual, I am your host, Mazi. Is okay. And today we need to talk. We need to talk about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's newly released 32 additional ambassadorial nominees. A list that I will make bold to say that it has raised eyebrows across diplomatic cycles, across the civil society, across the Nigerian public space. Because what we have here, the list that I have seen, let me actually pull through no, not Omokri, Bayo Ononuga's space so that we see this list. Bayo Ononuga, where is it? Bayo Ononuga, where is Bayo Ononuga? Okay, so let's quickly, where is my Bayo Ononuga? Bayo, where are you? Okay, that's Bayo Ononuga here. And let's review this list. Here you can see the list in question. Now, what we have to do at this point in time is quickly to review this list. Like I said before, this is not a list of diplomatic strategy, it is a list of political compensation. And today we are going to be unpacking exactly why this list, in my view, is a serious miscalculation and why it weakens the Nigerian global standing, why Nigeria should deeply be concerned, anyone who really cares. Now, I say, again, the big announcement here. If you, according to the list you will see here, we have 15 career ambassadors, 17 non-career ambassadors, and immediately the question arises: why is the list dominated by political loyalists? Why is the list dominated by political, uh, in the words of Patrick Obiagbon, who said the political higi haga, the political ihe now, the political crinking crankum, the political roforofoism. Why is the list populated by people who are attack dogs? How can attack dogs be those that will go and represent Nigeria? How does that happen, people? Just tell me. One of them that has made um, one of them that has really made people wonder is one called Reno Omokri. Reno Omokri was seen during the time and after the election of 2023. He was seen moving around when the case was in court, the presidential election. He was seen moving around, making some statements that certain individuals there never attended the schools that they claimed that they did, and that certain individuals were not what they claimed they were. Right? I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to let you watch the videos. I'm not going to say anything there. So let him say it himself. Reno, over to you. I'm just watching like Ayo Fire show.
Yesterday, I did a video calling on Bola Tinubu to answer a simple question, just yes or no. Are you a drug lord? Because we've got documents showing that you were involved in a heroin cartel in Chicago between the years of 1991 and 1993. So it's a very, very simple question. We've got the documents showing that you forfeited almost $500,000 to the US government. And I have a master's in law. And if you read law, you know that when you forfeit, it's almost like a conviction, because what you're saying is that, look, yes, I'm guilty, but I don't want to go all the way to trial. Take what you want and then leave me alone. And so we need to ask this question, Bola Tinubu, were you a heroin drug lord? Because we don't want a person who is connected to drugs being our president. If you were not contesting to be president of Nigeria, I wouldn't be doing this video. It's a very, very simple question. Some people reached out to me. I got threats, which I'm going to ignore. But well, many people reached out to me and said, look, leave this matter. It's in the past. Why should I leave this matter? How do you know it's in the past? Look at the kind of cartel behavior that Bola Tinubu has been exhibiting since 1999. Everybody who wants to be anything from governor to commissioner to other positions in Lagos have to come through him. That is a typical cartel behavior. Look what's happening right now with the National Union of Road Transport Workers. They have Bola Tinubu stickers on their Danfo buses and other public transport buses. They have to pay 20,000, they say, to buy the stickers, and then a renewal fee of 10,000 every month. Otherwise, what they call Agbero, or the National Union of Road Transport Workers, which are led by Bola Tinubu's thugs in Lagos, will just cause mayhem. So that's that cartel behavior. And then if he's done it in Lagos, he's going to take it to Aso Work if he's elected. So we as a people should be asking these questions. He's not contesting to be president of the Tinubu household, he's contesting to be our president. So we want to know, Bola Tinubu, are you a heroin drug lord? Because we don't want a Pablo Escobar kind of president. We don't want Nigeria to be reduced to Colombia. We already have enough problems with insecurity. We don't want drug cartels now fighting over. We don't want anybody to make our president vulnerable. These are questions. Yes or no, Bola Tinubu, were you a drug lord? Just yes or no. Thank you for watching. Yes or no. Are you a drug lord? That's all I want to know.
Okay. So that's Reno Omokri there asking question if you heard it. You don't want to hear it from my mouth, but you heard it from Reno Omokri. The question is, I would make bold to say that this is what we have here is not ambassadorial list. This is a political payback program packaged as foreign policy. Now, there is absolutely, don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong in appointing non-career ambassadors. Don't get me wrong. Different countries do that. Nigeria would always do it. But the difference here is most countries choose people with global expertise, with strategic experience, with international exposure. Tinubu chooses politicians that he owes favor for what they have done. If you look at Fani-Kayode, you can say that Tinubu owes him for the things he has done for him. He has really attacked since the election anyone that crosses his path. Reno Omokri that you just watched now, he has done that same thing with Reno. So let me take one by one. On Reno Omokri, if you look at his Twitter activism, if you look at his Twitter activities, one could actually say that Reno Omokri has moved from Twitter activism to diplomacy. Is that the case? A loud political commentator known for more social media gist than diplomacy. You know what he has been doing within the social media space. What exactly is the foreign policy expertise here? Is it because he wears a soke? Is it because he lies? A man who went around America campaigning for Leah Shaibu, who was abducted by Islamic terrorists, now going to say the same man who had Leah Shaibu campaign for more than 5 years is going round the same place that he's gone again, telling people that there is no targeted attacks on Christians by these Islamic terrorists. How do you take such man serious as an ambassador? Which international treaty has Reno negotiated that will not be based on lies? Which diplomatic mission has he served? Which conflict region has he studied? If not that what he has done in the last couple of years is to incite conflict between some part of the North and the Southeast consistently, almost on a daily basis. Come on, Nigeria is not sending comedians to United Nations, or are we? Nigeria, we are not sending comedians to be ambassadors, unless Bola Tinubu has lost it and has lost the plot. Now, let's come to Fani-Kayode here. I would think that Fani-Kayode, a man banned from airlines, a former minister of aviation with a history of erratic outbursts. Recall the the outburst that he had once when he said that he's a man with short fuse. When a reporter asked him, I believe in an Akwa Ibom then, who is bankrolling him when he started visiting states. A man known more for controversy than competence. How does anyone with volatility, with that level of volatility in his head, becomes a diplomat? Diplomacy, if you do not know, requires some measure of restraint, credibility, stability, discipline, and emotional intelligence. FFK is the opposite of all that I've just listed now. Restraint, some call him a wife beater, is on video. The wife from Nanka, the one that gave him through IVF 3 kids in one swoop, had some, it's on video, wife beater, whatever, so he could not show restraint. Credibility, your guess is as good as mine. Stability, I clear truth. Discipline, open from my mouth and I go hear them. And emotional intelligence, please, let's move to the next level. In the words of Fela will say, second base, Jare. Okezie Ikpeazu, Okezie Ikpeazu, Okezie Ikpeazu, Okezie Ikpeazu, the former governor of Abia State. Whew, the former governor of Abia State. Abia State residents will tell you that Abia infrastructure collapsed under Okezie Ikpeazu, that they were unpaid salaries in Abia State, and economic stagnation during his tenure. Is this the man that will represent Nigeria internationally? Remember the famous quote, the famous citation by him when he said to Ndabia, when they questioned that the bridge he was building has taken a lot of time. He told Ndabia, onye na-enweghị moto na-etu bridge. Meaning, he who has no car, does he have any need for a bridge or a flyover? Onye na-enweghị moto na-etu flyover. Oh dear, this is quite funny. So that is Abia State. Okezie Ikpeazu. Then let's come to the INEC chairman, former INEC chairman. What was his name again? Yakubu Mahmud, one of the most controversial electoral empire in Nigeria. His inclusion is not such an irony, but it appears that the president is hell-bent on rewarding those who have messed up the system. You presided over an election widely criticized, and your reward is diplomatic posting. What message does this send? The message is very simple. Switch off the IREV, let there be glitch. Then your reward is in political appointment. The pattern of a political compensation is one thing that must worry everybody. And I'll say to us, listen carefully. This is not random. This is not selecting ambassadors. Tinubu is settling his political debt, and he's doing it very, very with clear mind, settling Nigerian, settling his political helpers with Nigerian taxpayers' funds. The same people who campaigned for him, defended him, or aligned with him are now being shipped abroad, not to serve Nigeria, but to enjoy tax-funded comforts. The ambassadorial list, as I said before, have, or rather, I can categorize them by the following: a retirement home for ex-governors, Ugwuanyi is there, Okezie Ikpeazu is there. I mean, a couple of them. A reward centered for political jobbers, FFK, Reno Omokri, and so a shelter for failed politicians. Maybe my mouth and I go hear that one. A diplomatic dumping ground. That's what I may call it. And the tragedy is this. The tragedy is indeed mind-blowing. Nigeria desperately needs competent diplomatic representation, not what we have now. Because as it is now, Nigeria is facing failing foreign direct investment. Visa restrictions in major countries. You can see what Donald Trump has done to us. People who had 10 years visas got it cancelled, 5 years visas got it cancelled, and total cancel. It has even affected certain individuals. Look at the Kongi, the white gray-haired professor has his own also revoked. Global perception issues, strained relationship with ECOWAS, worsening security perception, and an economy struggling to attract partners. But instead of strengthening our foreign mission, Tinubu is turning them into political hostel. There are thousands, if I may add, there are literally thousands of highly experienced Nigerian diplomats, career foreign service officers, international relationship experts, former ambassadors with stellar records, scholars of diplomacy, experts in global security, trade, and geopolitics. People, when you think about it, who can actually work under the OAU, the AU, the ECOWAS, the United Nations, the UNESCO, countless international framework, but Tinubu is ignoring all of them. I do not want to mention any name, not to sound as if I'm selling a candidate. But one thing is that we as Nigerians must begin and must continue to ask questions, because professionals don't sing political praises. Professionals don't kneel before party leaders. That's why they don't like them. Professionals can be controlled. Professionals will misuse diplomatic mission for political fundraising. So instead of competence, we are here seeing loyalty as the first qualification for you to make Tinubu's ambassadorial list. Well, some are arguing whether it's, the case of gender balance, whether it's also, is it something to be considered? Well, I would say gender balance, or rather, should we actually say is statistical decoration. If you look at it, if you get that name again, break it down, you will see that in Tinubu's team, they proudly announced that the list contains 4 women as career ambassadors and 6 women as non-career ambassadors, so making it 10. If it's 32, 10 women, that is 22 men. On paper, that looks fine, but look closely. Are these women appointed because of their competence or for the optics? Just when governance becomes a PR exercise, you know that Tinubu has entered the room and the people suffer. Women deserve inclusion. I mean, there is no doubt. They do not deserve to be used as statistical counts, right? Anyway, before you accuse me of that, let's move away from that. The question is, we can also look at the diplomatic implication of what has just happened, the diplomatic risks, and the international embarrassment. Of course, do not tell me that people who knew Reno Omokri, who knew Fani-Kayode, they now see them as ambassadors would ever take them serious. I do not care. The country that, any country that Reno Omokri becomes their ambassador will never see people like me set foot in there. If not, I would rather stay in my village. He cannot be my ambassador. Ambassador represents Nigeria in China, India, UAE, South Africa, Qatar, Canada, Mexico, South Korea, Kenya, United Nations, UNESCO, the African Union. These are serious countries. These are serious countries. Serious countries, serious countries. You just think they don't have time for internal political compensations. If Nigeria sends unprepared, and I repeat, if Nigeria there sends unprepared, untrained, political motivated appointees, those hallelujah boys, those political higgy haggers, the political crankers, I can guarantee you with almost 99% certainty, negotiations will fail. Investment deals will collapse. Our image will be battered and our image will get worse. Foreign government will lose confidence in Nigeria and lose confidence in dealing with Nigeria. And ordinary Nigerians abroad, sadly, those who may want in one time or the other wanting, needing diplomatic ambassadorial help, they will suffer. That is with utmost certainty. A competent ambassador protects citizens. A political ambassador protects the interest of the president, especially when the president is the one that plays politics with almost everything. One would even wonder, why did you take you 2 years and 2 months to assemble this list? Then the failure is even more catastrophic than Buhari that waited 6 months to give us one of the worst set of ministers. It's a shame. It's a shame. President Tinubu's ambassadorial list is not just a mistake. I can say that over and over again. It is a national disservice. It is a mockery of diplomacy. It is a recycling of old political faces in the international spaces that requires fresh thinking, professionalism, and visions. Nigerian and Nigeria deserves better. Our foreign missions deserve better. Nigerians, home and abroad, deserve better. And above all, the ogakpatakpata of them all, Nigerians deserve those that will represent them as representative, those that have earned their position, not those who have negotiated their position through the backdoor meetings, through insulting other political opponents, through writing fake statistics all the time, through trying to incite ethnic hatred amongst Nigerians. Those individuals should not ever, whatsoever, get close to getting any diplomatic post. This, in my view, is not diplomacy. This is nothing but political recycling. And the world is watching. The world is watching Nigeria. The world is watching. The world is watching. The world is watching. Well, no matter how you look at it, I've just said my mind, and this is what I believe in. People, this is the early morning of Sunday. I can actually say that this is my Sunday sermon. What do you think? I find it disgusting. I do not find and I do not think that this is right. I am Mazi Ezoke. For now, bye from now, bye from here. Good night.